Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious apple berry cobbler. We've got here two different types of apple. You just need something that's firm and is not going to get too mushy when you cook it up. So I would recommend against using something like a Red Delicious. But what I have here are two different types of apple. I've got a Golden Delicious and a Fuji, both of which hold up nicely and have a nice combination between the sweet and the tart for baking. Now you notice I did not take the skins off of these apples. First of all, who has the time? And second of all, there's nutrients and good fiber in those, so let's use them. And when they cook up, you won't even notice that they're there, texture-wise. So what we're going to do is take our two apples, add to that 1 cup of red raspberries, and these are a frozen version. Now red raspberries have finished around this area being fresh, so I'm buying the frozen variety now. So I'm tossing those together. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. I like to use the raw sugar or the turbinado sugar, so you'll see that in a lot of my recipes. And we'll give that a toss. Now how much sugar you're going to need is actually going to depend on the tartness of the fruit you're using. I think this is probably going to be good. I tasted one of these apples earlier. They're not too tart. And I like to add a little cinnamon with any of my apple dishes, so I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit, just a tiny bit there. And we'll mix that up. And then we're going to put this in a 375-degree oven for about 15 minutes. The idea is to get it nice and hot and bubbly, so that the next step will be to mix up the cobbler topping, pour it on that hot fruit, and it'll cook up beautifully. I want to get every bit of that yummy goodness. It smells good already. Okay, so 15 minutes, 375 degrees, and we'll take it on the next step. And we're back. It's been 15 minutes, and the fruit, look at that beautiful color, has been in the oven at 375, and it's nice and hot. So what we're going to do is combine the cobbler very quickly, spread it over the top, pop it back in the oven for another 25 minutes, and it's going to be delicious. So I've got 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour. I have 2 tablespoons of sugar. Again, I like to use the raw or turbinado sugar. I have 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. That'll give the cobbler a nice lift. And I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we'll just quickly whisk all those together and then add in 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened soy milk. Now if you choose to use the sweetened soy milk because that's what you have, you might want to cut back a little bit on the sugar. Here we go. Okay, so we will, now if you were whipping up this topping while the cobbler was in the oven, just don't add the wet ingredients until you're ready to spread it on top, because once you add the wet ingredients, the baking powder starts to react and you'll lose some of that by the time you're ready to put the topping on the fruit. So there we go. Now, one last little thing I like to do is sprinkle just a little bit of that sugar on top. You can tell I like sweet foods. And just a little sprinkling more of the cinnamon. We had a little cinnamon in the fruit mix, and we're going to add a little bit on top. And this is ready to go back in the oven for 25 minutes. It'll be nice and brown and crunchy on top, and we'll serve this up with maybe a little soy milk on top. We're back. I've just taken the cobbler out of the oven, and I want to serve some up to show you how beautiful this is. And you can see the crust is just golden brown. Ooh, look at all that lovely fruit in there, and it smells so good. The raspberries give this a beautiful red color, as you can see. We've got our apples in there, and we can serve this up with either a little soy milk, or in this case I've got some rice milk here. pour it around the side, or you can just have it straight as it is. Look how pretty the pink that milk turns. And there you have it. A wonderful dish. We serve this quite a bit, especially when we have company. Our apple raspberry whole wheat cobbler. Thanks for joining me. Bye.